I felt quite privileged a short while ago to travel to the earthquake-devastated area of Kashmir in Pakistan and there stand alongside Australian soldiers as they delivered medical aid in this Muslim country. Near 100,000 dead and 3 million homeless in this Himalayan tragedy. And in the middle of it, men and women from the Red Cross and the Australian Defence Forces. Inspired men and women doing inspirational work. Over millions of centuries, as the waters flowing west off the mighty Himalayas have made their way down to the sea, they've cut huge gorges like this through the landscape. And then 3 months ago, up here in the north of Pakistan, up where Pakistan meets Afghanistan and China, two parts of the world pressing together with mighty force slipped, and some of those mountains came tumbling down. Now, I've been nervous in other parts of the world that I've been to, but never quite as nervous as here, knowing that there might be more to come. That's half a mountain range down there. That exposed white rock is where the other half sheared off in a colossal landslide. 300 families who were living on the riverbank below are said to be buried beneath. There's not much heavy equipment here. It's more sledgehammers and bare hands. By day, people do their shopping in and around the debris. And then at night, when the temperature drops to freezing, they go back to tents. Families existing. To say living would be to overstate it.
Mommy!
This boy wants his mother. With nigh on 100,000 dead, there are many orphans and many widows too. Amidst all this is a small but mighty group of Australian doctors and nurses who've come to help.
So sweet.
In one of the most remote valleys of all, it was uplifting to find Australian Army doctors doing what doctors are trained to do. According to the United Nations, the scale of this tragedy is on a par with the tsunami. And looking around, you can see why. It sure is spectacular country, but whole hillsides are missing. And responsibility for the health needs of the scores of villages around this valley has been taken on by our Army and Air Force. And to see them at work makes me proud to be an Australian. The only level ground suitable for a camp and a helipad was a village cornfield. Here they set up Camp Bradman, 60 men and women soldiers and 4 Black Hawk helicopters. Patients from all over the region trudged here to be treated by the Australians.
मेरा नाम Barry है.
Some of the doctors told me they'd signed on for this sort of work because this way they felt they could make a tiny difference.
That's what these people are here for.
Colonel Andy Sims is the boss.
I mean, they're saving lives, they're making life better for the people here, and when you're here for 3 to months as they have, you build a wonderful rapport with the local community, and if they can give something back to people who give a lot to us, well then that's what they love to do, and that's a wonderful sign for them.
Field hospitals have played a special role because nearly all the regular hospitals in the region were demolished. Amateur video taken just hours after the quake shows the bedlam as Pakistani doctors, who weren't hurt themselves, set about trying to manage the calamity.
How are you? It's 10 years since we met.
These days, Imran Khan is still worshipped here, but now it's for his charity.
When I came here on the fourth day, it was just, I cannot describe what we saw. So anyone is touched by that.
Oh.
You know, I mean, children have lost their parents, parents had lost their children, whole families were wiped out, 1 or 2 people were left from a whole family. I mean, the state was in a trauma.
Imran is also in politics now, and he wanted to say how badly the government and the army handled the crisis in the early stages.
In schools, you could hear screams of children for 3-4 days and there was no one to help. Parents sitting on the rubble. I mean, when I can't explain to you, as a father, I find it too distressing talking about it, that the sort of scenes I saw here.
Any idea how many people died in this area?
Well, this whole village came down. This, you know, where we are now, this was very close to the epicenter. Actually, no one really knows, but we all think it's about 100,000 plus.
All over, there are tent cities and tent hospitals. This one's in the worst-hit city of Muzaffarabad. What is this place here?
This is the Muzaffarabad Cricket Ground, MCG.
This is the one clear space the Red Cross could find for a very sophisticated portable hospital. Leanne McHenry came from Geelong to care for the tiniest survivors.
This baby's 3 months old, so she was pregnant through the earthquake. She lost 3 children to the earthquake.
1.5 kilos.
Here she is. I'll shove her. Her little bottom. There's just no padding to the bottom. It's just...
There's no fat?
No, there's nothing on it. Here has been astounding because by and large the general population didn't expect the response they got from the international community. They had no idea that we would care enough to come and help them out of this crisis.
Some villages are so isolated they've had next to no help. Here, our military medical team has been doing helicopter house calls. Today, they're setting up a clinic to immunise every child in this village.
Good boy.
When was this child born?
20 minutes ago.
You're not serious?
Yeah, just 20 minutes ago. It seems very healthy. It's a little boy, so they're very happy.
But it turns out the mother has retained the placenta, the afterbirth, and she needs to be in a hospital straight away.
Okay, Spud, we have 1 female, 1 infant newborn to go to 212 MASH, Muzaffarabad, over.
2 clicks of a finger and an Australian helicopter is hovering. If we were winning hearts and minds this way, elsewhere in the Muslim world, maybe we would not have quite the problems we do at home.
Oh, here, see? Oh, newfound dad.
Think of it, this baby will have a helicopter ride before it's an hour old. I mean, she deserves it, of course, but you're taking her out of this environment. I mean, how in heaven's name will she get back?
They'll organise for her to come back. So they're not left down there, they're brought back. It's all part of the process. We would never put them down there on their own, I assure you.
Just then came another patient urgently in need of an airlift.
This little boy was injured during the earthquake. He had What the X-ray shows is a fracture of his
Major,
forearm.
or if you like, Professor
Quite a nasty,
Ralph Chicatano from Royal Adelaide Hospital
complicated
knows
fracture
there's
which
no
has been
time to
hid.
waste.
But what's happened is, since then, he's developed what looks like an infection in the joint. If this isn't treated fairly quickly, like as soon as possible, he's either going to die or lose his arm.
When I first saw you, you were a little bag of bones. Now look at you.
It is inevitable, of course, the Red Cross nurses
So gorgeous.
form special bonds with patients
Boy.
they've treated day in and day out.
Gonna let me go? Gonna let me go and take some people home?
When Marg Brewster does her job and ensures patients are returned home safely in the Red Cross bus, sometimes it's not easy.
A little girl we let go this morning, she'd been there since the first day I was in the hospital, so I felt quite sad. She'd had 2 broken legs in an earthquake. Okay, we'll see you. Okay. It's rewarding that at the end of the day you really feel like you've achieved something in most cases. You can actually see you're making a difference here. It's good, it's just a very nice feeling, especially as a nurse. You know, it's what you really want to do the job for.
Over the next weeks and months, the portable hospitals will come down or be handed over to the locals. And then the helicopters and doctors and nurses will fly home or on to the next disaster. But while the people of Pakistan have to live forever with the aftermath of those 3 minutes in October, they won't quickly forget the wonderful work of the men and women from the Australian Red Cross and the Australian Armed Forces.
You just have to try and focus on what you can do. It's very easy to say there's probably thousands of people still suffering for one reason or another.
We do the best we can with operation, antibiotics and fluid.
Here we do what we can do as best as we can do it, and you just have to go home and think, well, you did the best you could with what you had and where you were at the time.
You came here and helped for people.
This is why we are here. You're welcome.
I am also thankful to you.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Tom Steinfort. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au, as well as the 9Now app.